Hello, I'm Tinsley Oden. I'm director of the Institute for Computational Engineering and Sciences, ICES. ICES was formally created in 2003, but prior to that, there was an institute called the Texas Institute for Computational and Applied Mathematics. And this was a realization of the university's strategic plan to invest in computational science and computational engineering. About 2 decades ago, the world woke up to the fact that computing and computational modeling and simulation was slowly becoming the third pillar of science, providing new ways to acquire knowledge and to solve engineering problems. The problem is this new discipline doesn't belong to any of the traditional sciences or engineering disciplines. Indeed, it belongs to all of them. So the university created an interdisciplinary institute and an interdisciplinary graduate program in computational and applied mathematics, in computational science and engineering. And ICES is the unit given the responsibility to manage and foster research in this new area. So at the moment in ICES we have 18 centers and groups from across 17 academic departments and 4 schools and colleges. We in particular work in computational chemistry, computational biochemistry, and we have a number of faculty members from the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry who are prominent in ICES and in its graduate programs and research programs. I mention in particular Dr. Roski, Peter Roski, who directs our Center for Computational Molecular Sciences, and Dr. Ron Elber, who directs our Center for Computational Life Sciences and Biology. We also have Professors Graham Henkelman and Dmitry Makarov, who are involved in research in computational science. We have our own PhD program, but many of these faculty also advise students in their home departments or from multiple departments. So we're very grateful to have top people from the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry who help ICES achieve its mission, advise our students, bring their interdisciplinary research projects through ICES. We think they've made the work of ICES of great value to the university, and we hope of great value to the country and to science in general.
Hi, I'm Peter Roski. I'm a professor in chemistry and also in chemical engineering, and I'm the director of the Center for Computational Molecular Sciences in ICES. Chemistry as an approach to using theoretical methods actually has a very long history. About 50 years ago, when large computers were first being developed, and they were in the context of vacuum tubes on racks with wires running between them, it was the chemists that actually first got involved with the computer scientists to try to do calculations, which at that time were electronic structure of atoms and molecules. And the stories I've heard are that they would go in the evening when the computer scientists had left and do calculations on these rudimentary computers. And 20 years ago, actually, quantum chemistry was the largest area in which computational science was being done. There are now, of course, many areas of science, engineering, including chemistry, that are heavily involved in computation. In my center, we actually have 4 chemistry faculty. Myself, Ron Elber. Ron is one of the chairholders in ICES and directs a Center for Computational Life Sciences, and is one of the leaders in trying to extend the ability to compute the behavior of biological molecules and for times that are long and sizes that are large compared to what we're used to. which is the area in which biological function starts to be important. Graham Henkelman uses computational methods to try to understand chemical reactions involving surfaces and nanoparticles, using both direct calculation of energies and of the motion of the atoms and molecules. And then Dima Makarov works on studying the fundamentals of how biological molecules move, how they obtain their mechanical properties, like the strength of a natural fiber, or the way in which a molecule moves in being synthesized in vivo. So we cover a fairly wide range of areas, but they all depend heavily on the ability to use computation. All of us actually have as a major part of our work theory as well as computation, because many of the milestones that have been achieved in theoretical and computational chemistry are a result of the fact that we've basically adapted the equations of physics to ways in which we can feasibly compute the quantities we want to know about using the most modern state-of-the-art computers. My own research actually has two major elements, and that are relatively disconnected, but both involve quite complicated systems, that is, systems where there are many molecules interacting at once. This is the way in which chemistry as a computational science has evolved enormously in the last 25 years to be able to do incredibly complicated systems due to both theoretical and computational advances. But in one of my research areas is focused on trying to understand how water affects the interactions between molecules in solution. In biology, all such interactions occur in water, and it's pretty much established that water is an essential ingredient in mediating the interactions and having them behave in their native way. So we study how water affects the interaction between biomolecules, the stability of biomolecules in their native folded states, as well as the effect of water on the interaction of synthetic surfaces that's important for nanoscience and self-assembly of designer materials. The other thing that we spend a lot of time on is quantum effects, and in particular how the dynamics of electrons and nuclei in systems behave. And that has a big fundamental component, but nowadays it is extremely important in the context of energy. There's a big effort all over the world, and especially in the United States, to develop alternative energy sources for the future. And everybody agrees that the biggest source we have for energy is the sun. So finding out how you can develop materials that will effectively absorb sunlight and produce electricity is a huge and important goal. And we participate in a major center in the university, which is a DOE-supported Energy Frontiers Research Center directed by Paul Barber, in which we're trying to understand each of the fundamental steps that is associated with light absorption and charge carrier creation and their capture in order to be able to help engineers logically design materials for photovoltaics, that is solar cells. It's an exciting place to work in chemistry and in ICES because of the fundamentally interdisciplinary elements in all of these projects. So, and also for the individuals who do biologically oriented work to interact with all the biochemists and molecular biologists in terms of bridging the gap between elementary atomic behaviors and the kind of macroscopic behaviors we know govern chemistry.